Alright, chat, we got why is this anime so good? What the F? I think this is from this little side picture, this looks like I forgot what this anime is called, bro, but oh, he has it right here. Shangri-La Frontier. I ain't seen this show, so I mean, I'm gonna just see what he's talking about. I heard it was really good though, so let's
I
see what
want
he's talking about.
everybody to navigate their eyes to the left side of the screen and take a look here, okay? Take a quick look. If you watch very closely, there is gameplay footage being shown behind our characters talking. And you're probably wondering, why does this matter? Why am I mentioning this? What's important about it? Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important.
It's not
But
at all.
it adds so much more to this story. It goes the extra mile to showcase a few things. It shows that the animators behind this care enough to actually have good CGI that looks acceptable for a game, especially in an anime. But secondly, they could have cheaped out. They could have done like a billboard or something like you have in the background here and put it there. But they decided to, opt in and put animated footage there to showcase that this is a vibrant and living world. That this world.
Okay, look. I just want to make this clear. If you are going to chat in my ear for 11 minutes because a show put an animated video game in a scene which I ain't seen, so I ain't seen this show, so I don't know how long this scene is panned out on these two talking right here. They could be talking right here for a minute or something. So they did that so the scene didn't look plain or something. I don't know. But all I'm gonna say is if you're chatting about this for 11 minutes, you're actually gonna piss me off.
World is moving. There is people living in this world. There's games on display. People can find things they want, and this feels very immersive. And this
You know what? This is what I like to say, bro. It is. If you know me, you know me. I say this about. I swear I have to say this every video, but this like, bro, take a step back. It is not that serious. This scene should not be affecting you that much. It should not be affecting you that much, bro. I would have watched this. I probably wouldn't even have noticed that, to be honest.
this goes a long way. It does, and I think that this
I think it goes a long way for someone who's looking into it too much. If you're just casually watching, you're not even gonna realize this.
goes to show the care and attention to detail that Shangri or Law. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. Shangri-La Frontier. Forgive me, butchered it. How far this will go, so to speak, and I
So, like, I'm not trying to infer what he's saying, but like, he said how far this will go. Like, that's basically implying that it hasn't got there yet. Like, he's inferring that because they did this, they're gonna do some more crazier shit in the show. Like I said, this better not be speculation all over a fucking game in the background. You actually might have lost me.
really appreciate that. Like, I really appreciate details like this that actually just make the world feel lived in. And I love that feeling. And I've been saying this, but it's very clear that the
Look, TV. What's your name again? TV reviews. Look, you make some good videos, man, but you are too deep in. You honestly need to take a step back. I'm not gonna lie, like seeing gameplay in the background makes your day. Like that's cute, bro. Like that's crazy.
author of this loves gaming. It's very important to this because there's so many elements that, this episode does that showcases this. Like, this element right here, where you have, our main character, he goes into town with, after doing this unique quest, he has this NPC that, joins his party, and it's very clear that, he's the only one that's ever felt this quest. And as soon as he walks into town that's obviously populated by a lot of players, they're going to notice him, they're going to notice his markings on his body, they're going to notice this NPC that looks like a vocal bunny, and they're going to ask questions like, where'd you get this? Why is this NPC talking? Why is it, is it like, did you tame it, etc. A lot of people are going to be asking questions. That's just what's going to happen. Like, I know anyone that probably has played an RPG game, especially an MMO, probably has seen someone with really cool equipment or a weapon and probably wondering to themselves, where did they get that? Was it a microtransaction, or was it, something they actually obtained?
Okay.
They farm a boss or something. So when you see something like this brings a lot of people's attention to the screen. They're like, why? Like, how'd you get this? And so the questions that were made, is very organic. It is definitely what players would do within the environment if they saw something like this. And it's nice to see the environment interacting with the main character, and it's not the main character interacting with the environment.
I mean, like, I feel like this is like these first 2 points have been stretches. Like I feel like you're talking about like little things that don't even matter in the actuality of the show. Like, is the story good? Is the pacing good? Are the characters good? I know you're not saying that this anime is so good. What the fuck? Because of some the little things that they did to make the world a little bit more immersive. Like, come on, that cannot be it, bro. That cannot be it.
goes both ways. And it's just very enjoyable to see, once again, as another example, the world feels lived in, but also very organic too, because this file save, they took a screenshot of him, and this makes perfect sense. Like, for instance, we live in a world where you can instantly take screenshots while you're playing a game, stream, etc. And so, bound to be footage of this man walking around with this Vopal bunny. And if he's not going to answer, people are going to take their answers or questions, so to speak, to online forums. They're going to go to Reddit, they're going to go to Twitter, YouTube, etc., to try to figure out what's going on here. And if nobody knows, they're going to be like, huh, that's very strange. And so they're going to get this man's username, and they're going to start spam messaging him, finding out where he's at to kind of...
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, like we get it. They made an immersive world. Are you gonna talk about anything that the show does in general, that the anime does in general, that is actually high impact? Like, these little things, yeah, they matter, but like it's only a fraction. These little things only add up so much in the grand schemes of things, especially when we talking about anime. There's way too many factors.
being getting like PK'd by players, so many different things. And so it's very interesting just to see this interaction that starts off very small can potentially blow up into something massive if just, it gets out of control and gains traction, so to speak. So I really like this. This is a really good segment, once again, showcasing that the writer of the story really knows how gaming is. Like, actually knows how people act in games, and didn't just use the world like as a game as a template, because like there's many authors that write light novels, write manga, etc., that will just use the template of it's in a VR game, and that's what they do, and they keep to the cliches. And yeah, this series does have cliches. It is very simple.
Like, this is another thing that I hate when people talk about. When you talk about a wide range, like we all know, like almost 90% of isekais are like they go into a game. There's so many of those type of shows. So like, of course there are gonna be some bottom feeders, some that do terrible, some that don't do everything right. But there are so many that do it right. So like, this little side point of this thing doing something that other shows have done before, like, this is not crazy. Like, I think it's not crazy to someone who actually understands that. But when you start like putting up, when you start taking a show and start comparing it to all the other shows in the category, it's like come on, bro.
Clear that the extra detail sprinkled in with it shows that it isn't just a template being used, that the writer really does respect gaming and knows what gaming is, the flaws, the positives, etc. It's nice. It really shows the difference a level of quality in comparison to just a person using a template that doesn't have really any passion for gaming to begin with.
Okay.
Now, besides this, we need to talk about the collar that our MC got within this episode, which is legitimately fascinating.
So I just want to, like, once again, I just wonder, are we going to talk about the story? Are we going to talk about the characters? Are we going to talk about anything that actually, like, the big things that make a show good? Are we going to talk about that in here or no?
So he gets this Vopal Soul collar, and he gets a negative and a positive from wearing this. He gets a negative to where his, EXP is halved. He receives half EXP, but gains 2.5 times stat points, rounded down when leveling. And at first glance, when you read this and you factor all this in, this sounds like a really bad trade-off. Another restriction added onto him. This man literally has wounds on his body, like a curse mark, to where he can't wear armor, so he's already messed up. But now that he has this, it's like, wow, now I'm getting half EXP. So this is even worse. It's going to take a lot longer for him to eventually overcome that unique monster just to be able to level up to fight it, because half EXP. But when you look at the gains 2.5 times stat requirement, or points, that's huge. It's basically borderline broken.
I mean, Chibi, why are we talking about this? What does this have to do with the title of this video? Why does this collar make this anime so good? Like, you're not explaining, like, you're not telling me that the video game, that the screenshot, and that this collar is the reasons this anime is so good. That can't be the reasons. It literally can't be.
And meta. Like, if this was an item easily obtained, this would be the meta item. Like, people would go out of their way at level 1 and obtain this item because of how meta it can be. And let's explain this in very simple terms, okay? Let's say max level within this world is level 99, okay? Keep it simple. And you get 1 stat point per level. So at the end, if you reach level 99, you will have 99 stat points. And let's say to max out a stat, let's say like
I
health.
mean, I mean, we get it. I like we get it, Chibi. Why does this make the show good? Like, are you gonna get to that?
Obviously you're not going to do that. You're going to allocate your points in different stats. But the point is let's say you put all 99 points in health, okay? You can only max out 1 stat if you used all stats for just 1 stat. However, if he gains 2.5 times stat points per level, so instead of getting like 1 point, he might get 2 to 3 points per level. Instead of having 99 points at max level, he would have 200 plus.
I mean, we get this. It's basic math. You didn't have to take 45 seconds of our time to do basic math.
That's huge. That is absolutely huge. So this item benefits those that get it early. Like, for instance, if you get this item at level 1, it is the most benefit you can get out of it. If you get this at, let's say, level 98, and then 99 is the max level, this is not really going to be a good item. It's not. So this is a very meta item if you hold on to this till max level and never take it off. It would be completely broken.
Okay, once again, Chibi, what does this have to do with what you're trying to say? What does this collar have to do? But I am waiting for you to give me that answer.
And destroy the balancing of the game, because you would have way more stat points over the average player. Even the max level player, like, for instance, let's say 99, it has 99 stat points allocated. They would not be able to touch this man because he would have way more points than him, and we know stat points matter. Like, if you put 10 more points into strength than another person, that really does add up in terms of DPS, etc. So this is absolutely ridiculously broken. That absolutely, it makes the character have to grind for it and work hard for it, but it feels beneficial. It feels organic, because obviously our MC needs to be strong. He needs to be strong. He's our main character, but this feels grounded in reality, and it's a nice positive and negative, and items like this probably would exist within a game. I could definitely see something like this exist, but eventually gets nerfed or whatever, because it's just so unbalanced. But the point is that I really like this edition. It's really cool, and once again, it's another layer to how this offer really does know what gaming is. Now,
Like, what? There's like, even if the author, like, maybe you need a new title. Maybe you need a new title for this video. But even if the author fully understands what gaming is and he fully illustrates that in this anime, that can't be the only reason why this anime is so good. It can't be, bro. That does not add up. What are the reasons, Chibi? What are the reasons this anime is so good? These are little things that are not they add up, but their cap is not that high, buddy. These are little things that most people are not even gonna even flinch at.
another good example of this, since I've been speaking of environment and all that, is the swamp. And I think that this swamp is such an excellent.
Tibby, we get it. The environment is immersive. The anime is immersive. What about the characters? What about the story? What about anything else about the anime makes it so good? It's like you see where you're missing me. Like I'm trying to understand what makes this show so good, and you're telling me, oh, the fact that this video game console, the fact that this video game was on in the background while these characters were talking, it shows that the author really cared about this scene. The fact that this collar is very video game-ish, it shows that the author, nigga, what about the anime shows that it's good, bro?
Showcasing of just like the love for RPGs, the swamp level. Anyone that has played, let's say, a Dark Souls game or played Monster Hunter, like Monster Hunter World with I think its name was Juratortus or however your Totus. Basically, it was a fish. It was a mudfish. Monster. It was like one of the first monsters you fought.
Mm-hmm.
This creature looks exactly like it. Like,
no, no, it does not. You got some hoggy some hoggy memory. Them niggas do not look alike at all. This nigga has complete fins. That nigga had bumps on his back. Nigga, I played that game. You are not fooling me.
I'm willing to bet you this design was inspired by Monster Hunter World. I'm willing to put money on it because
you're losing that money. You are losing that money, my brother.
It looks pretty much identical in the areas, muddy and swampy and all that. It's what reminds me of it. But the point is that anyone that plays RPGs and plays a lot of games has probably encountered a swamp level, a mud level, etc. And usually they are held as one of the worst levels. Like, good example, Blight Town. I think everybody knows what Blight Town is from Dark Souls. Or Keep Swamp in Dark Souls 3. Or, hell, let's Monster Hunter again, talking about that swamp.
That swamp, boy, you better not bring up that swamp monster, because that nigga got washed.
The mud swamp with the fish. Swamps are the bane of a lot of gamers' existence. Like, when you walk through swamps, you move slow. Hell, actually, Baldur's Gate 3 even has a swamp, and it does the exact same thing in the first act. So when you factor all of these things in, it's like, it's very clear the author that made this...
So the author that made this manga plays video games, and he implemented it into an anime. That does not make this anime good. Chibi, be serious. There's no way you're being serious right now. You're telling me because this author played video games and he implemented it into a manga so other video game people could understand that, it just automatically makes the anime good?
Moment loves swamps or hates swamps because this is a bane of anyone's existence because it's a gimmick fight. It's a straight gimmick. Like, our main character, his stats, his allocation of stats right now, he is someone that allocated all into speed, movement, and basically is a glass cannon. And if you're someone that's a speedster and needs to move a lot, this is basically one of the hardest obstacles for you to fight. But if you're a tank, you could just demolish this boss like nothing. Usually they're very easy, it takes a long time because of movement speed. So I like this, that our character is in trouble because, he is a glass cannon. What's going to happen to him, etc. But I like how gimmick fights are even being added into this, because this is what games normally have. Even the best of games have stuff like this. Dark Souls, very good example, has stuff like this. And it's just a common tactic that, many game creators do, to where they just make mud slow you down, you can't move, and that's just, it's...
So, Chibi, you gave me 4 examples, and we only got 1:16 left, so it looks like you're not going to talk about anything that actually matters in this video. But you gave me 4 examples that the author of this manga played video games. That's basically what you told me, and that he implemented it into the manga. You're not telling me that makes this show good. There's no planet on this earth where that makes this show good. It might make it more watchable. It might make it more engageable, but it doesn't automatically make it good.
It's an element to make the fight a lot harder.
Like, this show could be fantastic, and you just sold it because you didn't even talk about anything really fantastic about it. You speaked on little things that are cool. Like, yeah, that's cool that he did that. Yeah, like for example, I'm gonna give, since we're talking about gamers, my gamers gonna know this. Many Dark Soul games have like berserk berserk things that they implemented in the games from Berserk. Like I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. But take those berserk things out the game, the game is still fantastic because the game plays fantastically. Those are just little cherries on tops. Those are just little cherries on top of the sundae. That's what everything you just said in this show is are cherries. Nigga, where is the sundae? Where is the ice cream? The ice cream could be ass. But you didn't tell me because you're too busy talking about the goddamn cherries.
So yeah, I don't know. I really just love this series. Shangri-La is such a good anime. It is so good. It
Tell me what's good about it, Tibby.
has like this little element of bugs and stuff. Like this is Walmart Luffy versus Katakuri, by the way. But it even has like elements of a game is so buggy and people play the game because it's so buggy and broken. It reminds me of speedrunners, like people that speedrun games because they're just so broken that they're able to do these crazy things to be able to do like 80% runs. Like that's what this feels like as well. So I don't know. There's a lot of layers to this show, a lot of love. It is
That you didn't talk about.
I guess just a love note, so to speak.
Some passion that you didn't talk about.
I like this. It's really good. I have been very impressed by Shangri-La Frontier since like I watched the first episode, and it continues to get better every single week. But okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. May all of you have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.
This show might impress me, but I'm gonna tell you what didn't impress me. This goddamn video, Tibby. I know I said it about 7 times, but I'm gonna say it again. How are you gonna title this, "Why is this anime so good," and not speak on anything that actually makes the anime good? It looks like it has some good animation. You didn't speak on that. It looks like the story might be good. You didn't speak on that. It looks like the characters might be charactering some shit. You didn't speak on that. Nigga, you speaking on some goddamn video games in the background.